Hello, welcome back. Felix here. A couple of things to talk about. It's tedious, it really is. There's been a bit of a bad crash up the road. 3-car crash. One car into the back of another who's waiting to go around a parked vehicle. Police and paramedics are there, causing quite a bit of traffic. The county's actually getting 2 new air ambulances as well, which is nice. The council's also going to charge £1 entry fee for tourists. That's going to generate 15 million a year. And the council was hoping to get it's not 100 billion, 10 billion pounds from the government over the next 6 years for building projects. So they've managed to secure funding to upgrade all the train stations, all the bus stations, new bus networks, new taxi networks, the new metro line has already got the funding for it. They've already got the funding for the new hospital, or hospital upgrade. They're about to get £500 million in funding for another hospital and a new upgrade to another hospital. Actually, 2 or 3, 4 hospitals are actually getting upgraded. So that's 500 million. And so we got 9.5 billion left. So there is 18 new dual carriageways, and 1 dual carriageway has been turned from 1 major town, joining 2 more major towns, and a new dual carriageway, which actually, upgrading a road to a dual carriageway. That one's going to cost, I think there's like 50 million just for that. And the cost of this project will be £1 billion from the council. And from National Highways, they're going to contribute 6 billion. That's a lot of funding. It's nice to see, because the council have been pressing these, and the government is like, you need funding. The Southwest as a whole isn't exactly, got a lot of good road networks, especially the few, like, the southernmost few counties, like Gloucester, Somerset, Devon, Cornwall. The Channel Islands are actually going to get a bridge. That's a big one. It's not actually from my county, but the Channel Islands, I don't think they're part of my county, but they're getting a bridge to join them all up. So that's hundreds of billions. Like, I'm talking hundreds and hundreds of billions for literally a couple thousand people. But it's going to absolutely boom their tourism. But do you want that? So at the moment, each island is voting to see if they want to be have bridges connecting them, or whether they want to be isolated. Now, it has to be a 75% approval rate, and if it's 70% on all the islands, they'll be like, well, one island can be not for people that don't want it, or 2 islands, or however many there actually are in the Channel Islands, and the rest of them will have bridges connecting them. But they're updating all the ferries and everything like that, which is nice to see. But I don't know if they're actually part of our county. I don't know. But yeah, we're also getting funds, so that's 1.5 billion we used so far. We're getting funding for, what was the other big projects? There's some massive projects coming. They're rebuilding another quarter of the city. They also just secured £100 million of funding to use empty buildings from the government. So they're rebuilding another quarter of the city at a cost of £500 million, up to 2 billion now. A new docks is being built. That's a cost of £500 million. 6 new railway lines are being built. That's a cost of 1 billion. So already up to 3. 100,000 homes at a cost of 2 billion. So we're up to 5 billion now. Updating all the cycle networks, updating roads, widening them, upgrading the gritting, upgrading all the drains, because my county's gone no drains in roads, all has to be curbs, so they're all being upgraded. Tarmacking everything, and that's at a cost of 3 billion, so we're already up to 8 billion now. So what's that? That's the housing, the hospitals, The city, each town gets 0.1 billion of funding. That's another billion, like all the major towns. So I've got 1 billion left, and I think that's for the council to bank. I'm pretty sure that is. I know they're building a new bridge. That's at a cost of $500 million. That's 9.5 billion right now. So that's the bridge, the road network, the train transport network, the towns, cities, the new docks they're building. Oh, the other $500 million is for the business revamp. So we are one of like 3 selected counties in the southwest, or 4 of them, which have been selected for basically they're building business parks to attract businesses. Because if you have a group of businesses, more people are going to go there, so more businesses are going to move in, and it is working. We've got 12 of them so far, and they're driving people in. Oh, and they're upgrading the airport with that one as well. They're upgrading the airport with 0.3 billion, and they have a 0.2 billion that's going for whatever I just said. I can't even remember what I just said. What did I say? I've actually got to remember. Oh, business parks, so that's 0.2 billion for that. And that's everything. They are hoping to get another 5 billion for hundreds and hundreds of projects. But over the next 16 years, there'll be about £200 billion invested in the economy, which is the equivalent amount of that much being invested in this county. So we're getting this in the next 16 years. It's taken them 40 years to invest that much already. So we're getting big time investment, which is nice to see. The council have been asking for better rail networks. The council have forced Great Western Railway to build better rail networks. They're chipping in so that the Great Western Railway don't have to do the full cost. They've acknowledged there's a massive housing crisis. They've allowed the council to introduce a 25% council tax rate on second homeowners, because a lot of the counties in the southwest, like mine, one south, one north, another one north, or actually all of them around us really. Yeah, I don't think the Channel Islands are part of ours. Yeah, we are so far the only one out of the lot which have been allowed to do a 25% council tax hike. That's the highest in the UK. Which is pretty insane. That'll provide an extra £100 million worth of funding. That's how many second homeowners we've got. We aren't the highest. I believe the county north. Yeah, north of us, or east, north of us has got more. I believe they've got more. They are a bigger county. Actually, no, they're not. They're a smaller county, but have got higher population. That's right. They've got more second homes, but their tourism isn't as high. That's right. So this is really exciting. So so many rail projects. Like they're building a new bypass at the top of our road. It's causing mayhem. The roundabout design went terribly wrong. They built a roundabout where it's 1.5 lanes on one side and 4 on the other. No word of a lie, that is the design. And they've built it all, and in 5 years' time, they're starting roadworks to build a overpass over everything. So they're building this now, but in 5 years they're tearing it all up. Well, at least the A road, to build a bridge to go over it because they want to turn it into a dual carriageway. What's the point in that? What is the point? And they also built the bank up, but it's all slid, so there's a landslide there now. we're a very hilly county. To prefer quite a lot of the southwest is because it's not overly developed, so all the hills, aren't being flattened. And yeah, they're building roads on these hills, but they're building really steep banks. And at the moment, there's so many landslides because of the rain. They didn't even bother reinforcing them. Like, these private developers are building 50-story hotels on the edge of cliffs, and doing a proper good job, even though it's actually collapsing. So they're not doing a great job. But the council can't even be asked to put some sort, retaining wall or anything in. They literally just chuck a load of dirt down the hillside. Don't even compact it. They did further south of the county. They used a crane with a that big bowling in which they used to smash buildings. They slammed that into the hillside. Well, when they did that, they cracked all the road surface above, and then it caused a sinkhole because it all just pushed out. It's like, what are you doing? So instead of flattening it all out, but this is, I'm talking like 120 feet drop. Like, I'm talking a big drop. I have no idea how this is formed. This is a channel which just comes to a dead stop where the road is, and there's nothing behind it. I'm not sure if there's a waterfall there at some point, and obviously it's just like a canyon, or, gorge or whatever. But my days, that is a big drop, and it's just slipping away. They did it on the B road. Actually, our road's been renamed now. We're not an A road, we're now a B road, which is nice. Yeah. So basically, we're not a main. Well, we kind of still are for the time being, until because they've moved our road name up to the other one, the bypass. But yeah, this is actually some pretty exciting times. Like, we need the infrastructure. We need it big time, because our population's meant to reach 1.2 million by 2040, I think. We're currently sat at 700,000, I think, or 800,000, 600 to 800,000, somewhere in that. In summer, we're like 10 million, 12, 14 million, 8 million. Well, it depends on the year, really. If it's warm, the average year we can have 14, 15 million people visit. Pass through the county, I have no idea. It's such a decent amount, but it's not overly too many. But our council have asked for schools in different counties to have staggered holidays. So the tourism industry in the southwest, it just gets peaked out over summer. But what the council have asked, and the Southwest Council Committee have asked, is for the government to change holiday times. So, for example, you might have the Northeast, who has holiday a week earlier. You might have the Northwest, which has it normal. The Southeast, which has it a week later. And the Southwest, which has it 2 weeks later. It doesn't really make much sense in my eyes. But what are they going to do with the summer holidays? Are they literally going to have each summer holiday 6, 7, 8 weeks apart? No. Because, you run out of year. That's going to cover, nearly half a year if they did that. It's just, I don't know how it's planning on doing it, but they want the February half term changed. They want the April one changed. And they're not fussed about winter. They're not fussed too much, but they're a little bit concerned about the October one. The summer holidays, it's big enough that it's not all at once. And they want the May one changed. So basically they want them staggered, but some people were going to have 9-week half terms when others will have 4. It doesn't really work in my eyes. I don't think the 2-week ones will get changed, even though they want it. You just can't have it. You can't have, actually, and you've got the Midlands as well, so you can't have a 5-week difference for the exact same holiday. I mean, unless they did the Southwest who's complaining, and the Northwest at the same time, or whether they did the West first and the East next, or what they do, but I don't see it happening. I do not see it happening. If that actually happened, I would be amazed that they managed to get that to happen. They're also trying to convince the government that they need to they've got space projects in my county, County South, and County North. Across the three, they've got rocket. They've got launch pads. They've got technology firms, and they've got manufacturers in 3 different counties. But they're actually meant to chuck, I think, all of them in mine. Actually, that's what the council want, because they are arguing it's greener. The secret is they just want all the high-paid jobs in our county. They want what else? They basically want most of the funding for themselves, which each council wants that. It's just, the aim of the council is to make the county better. Councils were introduced so the government doesn't have to keep an eye on everywhere, because each council knows their county best. But the problem with that, because it makes the government spending fairer, because each county, I think, gets 50 billion a year, depending on the county. We have a massive pothole problem, which is why it's now illegal in our county to put drains in the road. It is illegal now. Road builders cannot do it. They will get fined and obviously sued and all that. And the bills, if any potholes form or repairs, will be sent straight to them, and companies don't want the hassle. So it's all eco-friendly. There's no grit which goes into the nature. It provides an extra 50 jobs every year. So was it 50? No, it was not. It was 10 jobs, sorry. Building it creates an extra 50. It gets rid of the problem when it rains, the sewage overflows that happen all over the UK. It gets rid of that problem, which is quite rife in the southwest, to be fair, because we're quite a wet nation, really. It gets rid of all that, so the beaches are cleaner, all for tourism, basically. Really, like I say, again, the southwest in general is a tourism hotspot. Midlands, the north, the southeast, yes. I don't really think there's too many places up north, but maybe it's just because I don't hear of them. But I live in the southwest, so I know what the southwest's like. I know Yorkshire's a massive holiday destination, and then I also know that obviously London is. But there are obviously bits and bobs around. You've got Bath, obviously Bristol, which is a massive tourist attraction. Like, each city obviously has its tourist attraction, because each city has history. So yeah. They're also planning on building an undersea tunnel linking my county with France. Because in France, the southwest, they've got 3 tunnels. One to my county, one to the county up from me, and then a few more up from that. There's 3 of them they want to build. And it's meant to provide an extra 10 billion a year for the economy, because apparently France, southwest is the number 1 location. Southwest England's the number 1 holiday destination. Apparently, that's what the council have said. And apparently, my council, the other council, and the other council, and the Southwest Council Committee, and the government, and the France government, and whatever they call them over there, the council, whatever they have, that, are in charge of each area that the tunnels are going to come from. I think actually they all come from one hub. And I have a feeling it's probably from Paris. Probably Paris. It's meant to provide them with more income. It's meant to provide us with more income. It's going to cut plane journeys, which is obviously greener, by 30% or something insane, because for the UK, I believe, as far as I'm aware, Paris is the most popular out of nation holiday destination. It is definitely Paris, with some areas in Spain, Portugal, Greece, Turkey, America in it. There is one African country. I can't remember which one it is, though. I know Kenya features on our list. I think it's either Egypt, Sudan, or Libya, or whatever you pronounce it. Is it Libya? The free one with the Nile. I think it's the Nile. It's over there. Madagascar, that actually features in the teachers one, like geography teachers. Madagascar's quite a popular one. Australia, a few of those was featured, but the main ones are Europe, obviously because we're part of Europe. So yeah, some pretty big Giga projects coming, which is nice. All of this should be completed by 2040 once the funding is received, and the funding is all going to be received by within the next 6 years, obviously before more projects are come up with, and that is what the predicted funding is for. So actually, did I say 200 billion earlier? If I did, that was a mistake. It's actually 100 billion. Now you might think that's not a lot, but if you add national highways, if you add the council, it's upwards of 100 billion already. 50. My statistics are messed up. Not messed up, but whatever. But yeah, it's not exactly big money. But like a quarter of the city is being built. A lot of it is also private investors. So actually, we're probably on the way to 50 billion when you include the 10. Actually, so far 15 billion from the government, 5 billion from the council, 10 billion from the Great Western Railway. BT has also invested, I think, 5 billion. So actually, it's got to be more 75, because we've got 30 billion in private companies building, and then we've got another 5 billion from whatever that other big firm, Southwest Water. They're investing in, obviously, assisting. So they're investing in the road infrastructure, but obviously with the new drain system, so it's not all put into their treatment plants. So they're investing money, so they don't have to upgrade their equipment as drastically as they first thought, which actually saves them money as well. It saves green space being wasted, actually provides more green space. So then we've also got the Environment Agency, which are also putting in money. So actually, we're probably not far off. By within the next 6 years, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 100 billion, which would have been invested in the last 10 years. So, yeah, and equivalent to that, we usually get about 5 billion a year. So we doubled our funding, and most of that funding was from private investors and companies building hotels and homes, and that was basically it. 5 billion was spent. That's including the council. That's including all those major road